don't know if this fits. I can't. Nah. That's what I get for not listening to the song prior to going live. How is everybody doing? It is Sunday afternoon, at least for me. This is a show, a live stream that I call Smell It Sunday, and I still haven't figured out a way to fully describe what this show is, but it's a place for us candle enthusiasts to get together, talk about what's going on in the wine industry, not the wine industry, the candle industry, talk about our favorite fragrances, our purchases, talk about travel, and all of the other aromatic adventures that are in our near future. So how is everyone doing today? How does the stream look? Does the stream look okay? Circles are manageable. The hair is all right. All right. First thing, folks, we got to pull you up on the computer. Now, if you've read the headline to the video, it says Mystery Yankee Candle. And a lot of you might be confused by that. And I don't blame you. Last night I posted on the official The Candle Enthusiast or Aromatic Adventures eBay page a mystery candle, a black band candle. And those of you who are not familiar with what black bands are candles that Yankee candles that predate 2004 and go back all the way to the early 90s. And what I've been doing recently, if I can get my computer open, new password, is I've been purchasing some hard to find black bands. I mean, all black bands are not going to be inexpensive. These are considered collector's items, whether or not they are burned or if they are untouched. Of course, they're going to be a little bit more pricey. In some cases, over $1,000, over a couple $1,000 if they're not lit. But I listed this on eBay. I gave one little clue as to what it might be. I'm gonna scooch out of the way and give you another clue. What I'm gonna do is, it is a used candle. I am going to fix it today. You've seen me do this before because it does have some. It's got some troubles. It's not only got some tunneling. I mean, this is what most would consider there's no turning back. I mean, this is that's a pretty big crater inside the wax, but we'll fix it. And we got a nice long wick, so we have plenty of room. Not very good. It's weird to hear my voice. All right. I was going to go on the main channel and do this today, but what I thought I would do is do the live today, and then I'm going to make a video on this candle right after the live today. Film it, edit that, and then, like I said, this is on eBay right now, so someone's going to be taking this home. Pull up that eBay page, just in case you don't know. All you have to do is type in ebay.com/USR/aromatic adventures. And then that'll pull up the official page, and then you can look at items for sale. Now, you guys are going to strangle me because I say this all of the time, but I have to repeat this every time I say it. All of the money that is raised through eBay, all the money that's raised through Patreon, donations, pledges, all that stuff goes right back into this show, so that when we do get into the vehicle and start traveling, which we're going to be doing as soon as the snow stops, all of that money goes into funding the show. This doesn't go into funding me buying candles. In fact, I haven't really purchased a candle for myself in a long time, and for the exception of one or two, and I'm going to show you them today. and some of you know that I just had a pretty big outlet haul. Again, those candles aren't for me. I mean, I made it sound like they're for me. They're not. They're for eBay. They're for giveaways. I wanted to utilize all of the coupons and the friends and family discount. It was amazing. I saved over 2/3 of full cost at the outlet. It was insane. I think I saved $470. So one day I'm going to make a video about shopping at a Yankee Candle outlet. The thing is, they don't allow you to photograph inside, which kind of bums me out. So the mystery candle is at $15 already. It started at 99 cents. It's at $15.50 with 6 bids, 5 hours left. The picture does show a full candle. I want to be very clear. This is 4/5 full. You know, maybe another fraction might be correct, but it's at that first black band right there. Can anybody guess what this candle is? It's going to be her favorite, Mary Poppins' favorite. If anyone gets this is a really tough trivia question because I don't know if I would even get this one right. Can anybody guess? Oh yeah, Angie says over $1,000. What? Oh yeah. Go on eBay. Go on eBay. Or if you type in what people think the first Yankee Candle Halloween candle is, it was just called Halloween and it's got a jack-o'-lantern on it. I remember this this thing would go for an insane amount of money on eBay. Cinnamon. Oh, look at this, Rachel. See, Rachel knows my videos really well, and so does Leslie. Because they guessed cinnamon and gingerbread. I've interviewed Mary Poppins twice at Disneyland. First time I met her, kind of caught her off guard, quite literally. Like she was just, you know, she was I don't know, maybe, you know, watching the kids, but she was coming out for a lunch break or something. And I just like, my brother and I, we ran up to her. I'm like, Mary, I didn't think I'd see you today. And I asked her what her favorite scented candle would be. And I think I, you know, kind of put her on the spot. And she said cinnamon. And I'm like, cinnamon? All right. All right. That's very straightforward, Mary. But then almost a year later, I interviewed her again. I just happened to bump into her again. And she said, does anybody know? And it's an actual reference to the film. I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds as I look up the lyrics. Da, da, da. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Rachel and Leslie in this moment for remembering that, the cinnamon gingerbread thing. Okay, so in the very famous Jolly Holiday song from Mary Poppins, I'm not going to sing it for you folks, I hope you don't mind. But right here in the middle, oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Now then, what be nice? We'll start with raspberry ice. Raspberry ice. Raspberry ice was what Mary claimed to be her favorite scented candle. Now, although this is not raspberry ice, this is going to be raspberry sorbet. Oh, man. You know, showing these candles, it never gets old. What does get old is having improper light to show these. Rachel, have fun. Thank you for dropping in. raspberry ice. And I'm going to give you a quick story on this candle. I did receive this via USPS from a seller not too long ago, and I was opening it up in my vehicle at the post office, and a woman walks by, and she does one of those, and she looks over at me. She's like, "Did you just get that in the mail?" I'm like, "I did." I said, "This is a 25-year-old Yankee Candle." She's like, "I can smell it." And I'm like, "I don't blame you." The whole concept of Yankees saying burn your candles within 5 years might be true for the candles that they create today. But no question, the older candles, the candles from the 80s, the 90s, and quite possibly even the 70s, still have quite they're still quite functionable, let's put it this way. So this is, right now, it is up on eBay, but we do have some fixing to do first. So let me get you guys back up here so I can read your comments. Is that what Rachel's doing? Are you playing Pokemon, Rachel? Just kidding. Have fun. It does depend on the scent, Aaron. It really does. But I'll be honest. I'll show you one that I would never, ever, ever think would last a long time. In fact, if I were to guess, this is a candle I'm about to show you that I would think that would last maybe 3 years. But on the contrary, I'm stepping on a whole bunch of shipping supplies right now. That's the crunching noise. I haven't narrowed down the age of this candle yet. This is probably late 90s. This is one I'd never would ever think would last. And this is going to be a brand new, unlit Christmas cookie. And let me tell you, that smells brand new. I'm not fooling you, folks. I'm not kidding with you. That smells brand new. And, you know, this is just one of those candles I would think that would fade very quickly. Not the case. Here's the problem with fixing this candle today. You see, usually I use the blowtorch, and I'm going to be producing a video tomorrow. I've already started it yesterday, where I'm going to show you different ways to fix your candles. I mean, usually I break out the blowtorch for show. I mean, it's you know, it's for fun, right? But I'm going to show you some other methods. And this is the reason, you know, the black band, this isn't a sticker, but this is, it's painted on there. And you can't hit that with the blowtorch. If you hit that with the blowtorch, you're going to burn that paint. So we have to use some other method. Now, Rachel said that she uses a hair dryer, blow dryer. What's the name of it? I can't remember. And then Leslie had a method. What was your method, Leslie? Was it, I remember it was some kind of craft tool. But I'm going to use something else today. 45 minutes, Eric says, in a lamp. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I have not been sold by the concept of the lamp yet. I'm just afraid to use one because I just don't. I think that what that would do is I don't want to get into any, like, if I don't have any information to back up what I'm saying, I don't want to share too many of my opinions, but the lamp is going to really melt or heat up all of the wax. It's gonna do too much, in my opinion. Where really only a little needs to be done, and it's going to expend a lot of the fragrance oils. So nothing against the lamps, but really affordable option. This is a heat gun. It's pretty much a blow dryer, hair dryer. but without an excessive fan. Now, having an excessive fan is gonna what, right? If you blow on something, you're going to volatilize something, right? You're going to be quickly blowing away the fragrance. All we want to do is put heat on this wax and not have heavy wind. Put my hand right here. It's hot, but there's not much wind coming out of this at all. So I'm gonna bring you guys in. And then this is what's great about this tripod. I can actually dip you down like this. All right. And then I'll move this. And then maybe we can even zoom. Can we zoom in? It's funny. Sometimes you can zoom in. Sometimes you can't. I can't figure it out. But I'm going to take this heat gun. This is a mini guy. I mean, this is not like an industrial heat gun. There's ones that shoot out flames. There's ones that things get very, very hot. But you can see this is a little plastic knob right here. So this is not going to be extremely hot. Always want to check the temperature of the glass, that it's not getting too hot. But you see how we're already creating, we're decreasing, we're breaking down that wall is what we're doing. Now, what this is going to do is, I also want to hit the center. Let me turn this off. I also want to hit the center because the composition, I know it's out of focus right now, guys, but the composition of this wax right here is going to be far different than the composition of this wax. This wax it's fuel, essentially, that has yet to be ever ignited, where this fuel has been sapped of a lot of the ingredients. And one of those ingredients being the fragrance oils, and a lot of what makes wax function when it comes to the physics of candles. So what we want to do is completely homogenize. Homogenize meaning taking both the wax on the side and the wax in the center and blend them, mix them together. I'm gonna stop for a second so that glass doesn't get too hot. Oh, good God. It is a jolly holiday with Mary, my friends. Woo! That smells wonderful. What are we talking about here? What is going on in the message room here? I'm trying to read your comments, and I don't know what's going on. Now, when doing this, one suggestion, Don't ever have something cold on the outside. You're like saying, you might say to yourself, okay, the glass is getting really hot. So what I'm gonna do is put like some ice or a cold towel on the outside. No, no, don't do that because I've ruined plenty of candles that way. What will happen is the temperature differential is going to make that glass shatter instantly. So don't do that. Can I just say one more time how good this candle smells? I mean, I have one that's not that old. And I'm not gonna say that they smell exactly the same, but this has so much life to it, and yet when candles tunnel like this, sometimes they're just regarded as trash. We're gonna change that. We're gonna change that mentality. Oh, and by the way, this is what you use. I want to read. What is Leslie saying? Okay, yes, this is a good point. Using one of these heat tools will also help if you've spilled wax on a hard surface. That's good to know. I've done that plenty of times. Just keep the gun up high, not to burn the surface. Yeah, you know what? If I wasn't doing this live, that's a really good point, Leslie. Seriously, I'm not just saying that. I probably would be doing something more like this. But what I'm doing is I'm not keeping the heat gun on it for a long period of time. So if I start seeing smoke, that's when I know. If I start seeing smoke, that's when I know I'm hitting the wax too hard. I didn't think it would take this long. See, I'm just pulsating. See, there's a little bit of smoke here. So what I'm doing is I am expending a little bit of that fragrance oil. But let me just hit this with, because this really speeds up the process. And although there's still walls, that glass is hot enough now where that is going to eventually, I need a lighter, and this is the only one I have on me. Don't get the wrong idea about me. These things are terrible. There we go. All right. What I'm gonna do now is nothing drastic. Just gonna take a handkerchief. And I'm just gonna tie that around the center. I could have done this in the beginning, to be honest with you, with the heat gun. Let me just give it one more roundabout and then we'll move on, folks. That smoke is from the candle going out, not the wax. Now, Leslie, I remember you saying something about using. Was it? Did you use one of these, or do you use like one of those creme brulee flame torches, a heat gun? Well, this is a heat gun to smoothen out the top of the candle. Something that Liz taught me from Witch City Wicks is that when she pours all of her candles, she's got one of those creme brulee. It's like a blowtorch, but where you crisp up a creme brulee, you know, to give it that caramelized, crispy, crunchy top. That's what she uses just really quickly to smoothen out the wax on the top. Just as you can see here, I'm going to pull you guys in a little bit closer and show you. It's completely, it's not completely pulled out yet, but there is enough heat on that glass. I'm going to light this. Let those walls on the edges drop a little bit. This is a raspberry sorbet, folks. Raspberry sorbet. It is not currently in production. It's not that hard to find if you're shopping on eBay, but when it comes to the black bands, I don't know. I can't tell you right now how much I am getting into these, because my suspicion was that these things would age like fine wine, and every test I've done so far has shown itself to be the case. I have yet to buy a candle, a black band candle, other than one mistletoe. One mistletoe smelled a little bit funky. Other than that, but I think it was because of the way it was stored. But other than that, everything has smelled fantastic. All right, that's it. Let's light it. All right, gonna bring you guys back up. Whoa, close up. Back you up a little bit. Back you up just a little bit further. All right. Nancy's going to invent smell-o-vision. I want to get in on that, Nancy. All right, so we got raspberry. We're gonna let that burn for a little bit. If you guys are wondering how the aromatic is, I'm not kidding. It smells great. It smells wonderful. It smells perfectly fine. This candle is a collectible. The only reason why I'm burning it is just to fix it. Once I think it's truly fixed, once it pulls out nicely, I will blow it out, let it dry. I won't blow it out. I'll sink the wick in the wax, pull the wick out, let it dry, cap it off, clean it up. There's a little bit of, you know, residues in there. And then after that, whoever is the high bidder on eBay, they'll be taking this home. See, there's some black smudge right there on the top of the lid, which means that somebody put the lid on while the candle was still... Gabe is burning 10 candles. Burning my own Irish Clover Fields candle. Leslie, wow. I can't wait to see what you've been up to. I've been so out of the loop. I still got your candles right here. I made all my notes, but we haven't even had a chance to discuss my thoughts. I know that you say that was kind of just your, you know, your kind of prototypes, but I had a lot of fun time. A lot of fun time? I had a very fun time analyzing the fragrances. This is some good information here. Jackie Brown. Love that name. Jackie Brown, is that your real name? Can I ask? Do you mind? Uses a cigar lighter torch. Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess something like this. Obviously, it's probably something of better quality. Okay, so Leslie uses this tool to fix the surface of the wax. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I think that's a good idea. I think anything with flame might be too harsh, just like the blowtorch. Gabe just got back from Yankee Candle shopping. Natalie says, casual to have a heat gun. Is that a question? I have a heat gun. Well, this is a heat gun. I keep calling this, well, this one's called a hot air gun. It's 300 watts, which is very low. Some of these go up to like 2,500 watts. That's not what you need. This was $11 on eBay. In fact, if anyone's interested, I'll post the direct link. I gotta get an Amazon affiliates account. Um, um, what that'll do is, that means if you hit the link and you buy it, it doesn't cost you any more money. Only Amazon gives us money in return. But this was $11 on Amazon. I mean, it probably won't last forever, but $11, can't really beat that. Okay, so here's a great point. Cruise bat. I've had candles that were fixed in parentheses and then they tunneled again even when it was burned properly. Any idea why? Exactly the reason why I was telling you about the composition of the wax against the glass versus the wax in the center. If you don't fully homogenize, you got to melt all of that wax off the side. There's another way of doing this, but I am going to show it in the video. You could take, say, like a pocket knife, or even like a baker's tool. It doesn't have to be sharp, and don't take a good one. Maybe hit that with a blowtorch or put it on top of a flame, and then slice around inside the jar, like cut off that tunnel, and then scrape off some of the center. Now take all of that wax, you put it into a pot on the stove under very low heat, let all of that wax melt, and then pour it back into the jar. This way, all of the wax now is homogenized. It's like having a brand new candle. But like I said, if you just melt the sides and there's still a little bit of an elliptis, yeah, an elliptis kind of shape, or so, whatever you want to call it, a parabola of the wax, it'll still naturally want to create that tunnel. And sometimes it takes a couple times to fix it too. But the best thing to do is, like, when this is done, I really will take a look at the color. You can usually tell by the difference in the color if it's all even. If it's not, I will make sure it's completely fixed, because someone will be going home with it. Now again, not to self-plug myself, but again, it's for us. If you want this candle, I really want this candle. I would love to keep every single candle I come across, but what I'm going to start doing is create maybe a series. I don't want to call it a series, but it's going to be called the Yankee Candle Archives. It'll be its own playlist where I buy black bands, I fix them, I analyze them, I compare them with the new contemporary candles to see if there's any difference. I think a good example of this would be Christmas Eve of the 90s versus Christmas Eve of today. These are very different in my own opinion. Another good example of this, something I was going to get to in a little bit, this is not even that big of a time difference. This is a 2013 bunny cake versus the 2018 collector's edition bunny cake. And even within the years between these two, I'm finding significant difference. And so compare, contrast, Yankee Candle Archives, that's what I'm going to call it. But once I'm done with the candle, I'm going to put it up for put it up for sale for someone to get it and take it home. Now, regardless of how much I spent for this candle, right now the auction's at $15. I spent more than $15. If it sells for $15, so what? So what? I got material out of it. I got content out of it. And if someone walked home with that for $15, I think that's a huge bargain. And I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Because I've already got my use out of it. I got my content. All right, so let's talk about the haul. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I had a major purchase over the weekend for the friends and family, and then I had a couple other. What were the other coupons? Buy was it 4 for 44, and then 3 medium jars for $24. I think that was the deal. I mean, it's usually the deal. But then AAA is another 25%. So there's a lot of things you can tack on, and they know I always make big purchases, so they always treat me well at that particular outlet. So what are some of the things I purchased? Well, I thought I was done with Easter because I went to South Deerfield, it was like a month ago now. I reviewed or evaluated the 3 little Easter eggs that are new for this year. One's Happy Spring, one's bunny cake. It's not Peeps, it's bunny cake. And white chocolate. Those were the 3 egg sets, and I filmed, just did a quick little evaluation. I mean, I did my separate evaluation for the white chocolate. The audio was really bad. It was really, really bad, and it's, for me, that's really embarrassing. So I have to rectify this in some way. So what I did was I found some other, not necessarily new candles for Easter, but some candles that I can talk about. Now, I reviewed this candle last year, chocolate Bunnies, but as you can see, I don't know if anyone's grabbed this one yet. This is not in retail. This is in outlets only, and it is a 2018 pour, new label for chocolate Bunnies, and it smells quite the same, so I really won't have to evaluate it, but I did want to revisit it because since last year my opinions have changed on it. I was a little bit too opinionated on this candle, and that's why I don't like to share my opinions too much, because all of our opinions change. I think one viewer said something about the candle, and I'm going to be quite honest, I think it was Amanda Soderberg. She said, no, the reason why it smells funky funk, that's what I called it. It had a little funky sour milk action. She kind of explained it to me, and as she explained it to me, she compared it to Hershey's chocolate, and I'm like, wait a minute, she's absolutely right. It does kind of smell like Hershey's chocolate. For me, when I'm smelling chocolate, I'm expecting to smell, like Baker's chocolate or something like chocolate layer cake. But this has got like Swiss Miss. It's got, oh God, I just had another good description. Swiss Miss, what is that? That cappuccino powder mix stuff that you use. It used to come in a little like container like that with the rubber lid or the plastic lid, and you would scoop. I forget the name of it, but it's got a little bit of that coffee cappuccino sweetness, dairyness going on. And yeah, Hershey's chocolate all the way, which is very refreshing. This is not like a Baker's chocolate. International Coffees. Thank you, Nancy. That's so. I've actually was making fun of this candle a little bit last year, whereas now I'm kind of praising it because I have a better grasp of the concept. Something else I will be evaluating, something I was almost purchased last year, and I didn't, and the reason why I didn't I'll share when I post my video, is this one right here. Wow, this lighting is killing us. Happy Easter. This is an online exclusive. This will be um, um, equivalent to like Lucky Green for St. Patrick's Day. I mean, initial thoughts, cantaloupe and honeydew melon all of the way. Kiwi, berries. This is all about fruit. So I guess if you like Easter, but if you're not into chocolate, you're not into caramel, you're not into marshmallow, this gives you a different option to burn. It's kind of like the Merry Christmas candle, which is like sugar plums, amaretto, berries. It's such a different approach to all of the other Yankee Candle fragrances. There's no pine in it. There's no baking spices. The contemporary Christmas Eve has no baking spices in it, at least none that are significant. So this gives you a different option. So I will want to include that in my a little evaluation. I'm also going to do a side by side of this, again, I'm forgetting the year, 2014. This is they're both retail candles. Well, this one's not retail. It's just a non-defective outlet exclusive candle. But these are a little bit different. Has anyone else noticed a difference between Bunny Cake from this year and other years? And remember, guys, when I'm done with these reviews, I think you can guess what's going to happen with them. I really, unless something really, really special comes, I'll show you something that I purchased for myself recently. I'm going to just review them. The ones I have to burn, I feel like I have to, or like burn or destroy in some way by ripping out the wax. Those I can't resell, or I can resell, but I don't know if you even want them. But you know, we're at a point here. If I'm buying all these candles, eventually I have to document and then let go of them. So that's how I'm making this work. Angie Clementine says, was that in the late 80s, referring to the International Coffee? It was, and I think it's owned by Maxwell House now. I could be wrong by that. I think they purchased it. Oh man, I gotta get these comments on the side of the screen because I'm missing so many of them. Gabe found black bands at Goodwill. Yes, Goodwill. Goodwill, thrift stores. I love it. I live. Of course, you know where I lived. I'll just say a previous place I used to live was a hot spot for not only Goodwills but thrift stores. Because you had an area that was very, very wealthy, very, very wealthy area, with areas around it that were, kind of, middle class. So what would happen is these wealthy people, not very fine people, I'm not saying all those wealthy people, don't get me wrong, but they would give away like stuff that was expensive. Like you're like, oh my, why is this at a Goodwill? Like I bought like an antique Chemex, a 1974 Chemex coffee brewer. If you don't know what a Chemex is, go back and check out any one of my coffee videos. And this thing is an antique. It's easily worth, $80, $100. I bought it for $2 at Goodwill's. So I love going to Goodwill's. You do find things like Yankee Candles all the time because people just don't have the heart to throw these out. The Ark near me always has great Yankee Candle relics. The Ark. What? What's the Ark, Travis? Should I know? Okay, so here's a good question. April 2nd, Chesapeake Bay Candle is coming to Yankee Candle. Yes, this is already kind of starting to happen. I don't know. This is to Gabe and Angie. I don't know to what extent. You got to remember, I mean, a lot of Yankee Candle storefronts are super small. So when it comes to the outlets, Chesapeake Bay, Woodwick have a very big presence already. Excuse me, Chesapeake Bay will have a big presence. They're not quite there yet. But as far as retail, I don't know. Gabe, where'd you get that information? I've been waiting to hear from that about that. One thing's for sure: the villages, Yankee Candle Village, both in Williamsburg and in Deerfield, they both have Chesapeake Bay candles. American Red Cross. Oh, American Red Cross. ARC. Gotcha. It's like a Goodwill. Yes. Eric says, I've never seen a single Yankee Candle, but you also live in California, Eric. So California is not, you're not going to find that much saturation of Yankee Candle. Us here in the Northeast, you know, Pennsylvania essentially is like candle country. And then, you know, all of these states, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, um, big candle producers. And even all the way down the I'm finding down the East Coast, like South Carolina, North Carolina, really starting to pump out candles. Where California, I mean, my brother's a big candle lover, not like me, but he's got lots of candles, and he just never burns them because you know it's just you know he just doesn't like the concept of heat and burning candles. So maybe that's the reason. Yeah, and Angie's kind of confirming my point. She's saying in Houston or Texas, you know, it's the same kind of thing. Okay, so here we go. Mags. I got a coupon, and the lady at my local store in Massachusetts told me that they would have Chesapeake Bay candles within a month. Any chance would that be the Holyoke store, Mags? I just spoke with them 2 evenings ago. Cape Cod. Dang. Well, I actually will be out there. Oh, I just spilled the beans. I will be out there in that vicinity uh, soon enough. Cape Cod, huh? Never been to that Yankee Candle. So the difference, real quick, between these two candles, I find not a huge difference. If I smell this candle, this is going to be the 13. Now remember, this one's lit. Um, but so that does mean the surface is not going to be as strong, and there's a little bit of smoke taint in there. Ah, that's nice. That's nice. I remember not being so happy with this when I first burned it. Um, Big vanilla cake, toasted coconut. You are getting a little bit of the jelly bean, but there's like this rum cake, spice cake thing going on that's enhancing that vanilla. Where as soon as I smelled this 2018, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, there's nutmeg. There are like the classic standard baking spices. So more of like a spice cake. There's a little bit of spicy cinnamon. like freshly ground, like cinnamon stick, Saigon cinnamon. Um, but I mean, more or less the same. But unless it's just the age between the two, I'm pretty confident that there is a little bit of a difference between these two candles. Now, there's one Easter candle I really want to share with you. I'm going to show you the back side. Does anybody know what this is? Nancy says, in Chicago, we burn candles to keep warm in the winter. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the New England state of mind too. So well, I shouldn't say limited to New England. I think it's just where it gets really cold. I think that's when people really start getting into burning candles. Looks like tulips. So this is a 2012 candle, and this is going to be an original. It's not red velvet. What are the Easter candles that we have seen in the past? Oh. 2012. 2012. Jelly beans. Nancy. Yeah, but it's not called jelly beans. This is a jelly bean. And I cannot state for sure whether this predates jelly beans, plural. Although I am pretty confident. I'm not sure when Jelly Beans was originally released, but what I can say for sure is that this is not what we know of jelly beans of modern day. This is a much different approach. To me, this is reminding me of like jelly beans as a child. It is both very sweet and quite tart. It's like if you took jelly beans, it's like it's a big strawberry influence. And I'm not saying that I'm being swayed by the color at all, but this was one that I remember seeing. I had my eyes on it. I wanted it, and I recently came across it, and thankfully, the seller of this candle didn't really know. He didn't really know what he had, and so this, although I would love to just burn this right now and put on my Easter costume and dance around, I don't have a bunny costume. I swear to God, I do not have a bunny costume. But if I did, maybe I would put it on, dance around, light this candle. I'm kidding, I think. But anyway, this is something I want to keep, but it's not something I'm going to keep. This will end up on eBay. I'm going to get it up as soon as possible so that you folks have a chance to, if you choose to burn it, which, I'm okay if you do or if you don't. If you just put it in your collection to be unburned, cool. If you want to burn it and enjoy it. But it's not something that you're going to see every day. Remember, the one that we know, jelly beans, plural. This one, jelly bean. And just in case you're wondering, that is a retail candle as well. That will be going up on eBay. As much as I hate to see it go, there's a little bit of a rattle in there. Can you hear that? Little bit, but nothing to be concerned about. I'm sure this will burn just fine. And if you burn it, that rattle will go away within 45 minutes. Speaking of which, beautiful. We're doing good on that guy. Shane, do you have an original New Zealand Wildberry. I finally got my hands on one, and it's insane. Same color, not the World's Journey one. So I thought you were talking about the World's Journey. So let me just take a quick look. See, I need to see a visual, and that will spark my memory. Where'd you go? New Zealand Wildberry. New Zealand Wildberry. I don't think so. I know the World Journey. I think I do. Come on. Ooh. Yeah, I remember this now. There was, what was it called? There was one that was equivalent to this. Was it called Canary? Wait, it couldn't have been called Canary. Canary, yeah, maybe Canary Banana. And the label itself won a marketing competition. It was in the news at the time. I'm trying to think of what this was. I have not burned this one. This would be an awesome find, and so would that banana one. So you're saying it's insane, huh? Yeah, okay, Canary Island Banana was the other one. So this must have been part of a collection. I don't know how many there were, but it would have been a collection. The label kind of looks the same. It has the map with bananas on it. So that's good to know. Maybe I'll definitely jot that down and take a look for it, Jackie. Get that one up so it ends Friday or later so I can bid. What's Friday? Is Friday payday, Eric? Gabe says, Shane, you're making me want to buy more candles. Well, we all want more candles. It's all about discipline. Which ones do we want the most? Oh, Lent. Okay, I remember now. You've given up I see what you're saying. Yeah, but that might be kind of close. That might be kind of close. See, if you purchase it, Eric, doesn't mean you're burning it. So technically, you're not breaking any rules, right? I can wait to ship it to you. But I do need to get that up on eBay soon because Easter is coming up really quick. All right, so we've talked about Jelly Bean. Really, if you're a big Jelly Bean fan, if you're a big like Jelly Belly fan, or if you're a big Yankee Candle Jelly Bean candle fan, I highly recommend. This is pretty cool. It belongs in your collection. I wish it was staying in mine. Happy Easter will be evaluated in an Easter video. I won't be re-evaluating, but I will be revisiting chocolate bunnies, and then I will incorporate. I photographed the 3 little eggs. My white chocolate review is already posted, even though the audio is also really bad. I did the watercolor collection at South Deerfield where the audio was really bad, and then I did the what's it called, guys? Help me out. The 3-wick beach collection. I did all of those Eric is down to 2 candles, not including. Okay, so Eric, my brother Eric, he doesn't burn his Halloween collection, which is good. Speaking of which, one of my this was the one that I purchased for myself, and I want Eric to take a look at this. As far as I know, I am. I don't know this. I'm gonna rephrase that sentence because it sounds like I'm being cocky. I'm so close to having every single Witch's Brew released ever. I'm only a couple away, and this was one of them that I needed to get. And of course, I needed to get them unburned. Here's the funny story. The person who sold this to me said, "Oh, look, it's been burnt because look, the wick is black." Witch's Brew's wick is black. This is brand new. He thought this was used, but this is, what year was this? Oh God, it doesn't say, so I have to do the math in my head. This would have been like 2009. It's got the 2 kitties on there. Witch's Brew, so the newest Witch's Brew candle to my collection. And this one, look how shiny. 1999. Thank you. Cruise Bat, I appreciate that. Look, I don't know if it's there. That's a good angle. Look how shiny that surface is. And if you're thinking that it's sweating, like it's leaking oil, it's not. A little bit, but it's not wet. It's just super pungent and a retail candle. So I'm getting close. I'm 2 away from having every single, and if you can see, you can't see. This is my Witch's Brew selection right here. It goes on for about several rows because I have not every single one. Excuse me, not every single one, but I do have a double of each. And every Halloween, I kind of do an update video on my Witch's Brew collection. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers for this year for Halloween, but one thing I can confirm that everyone, it shouldn't come as a surprise, Witch's Brew will be back in several formats this year. Not 1, not 2, but at least 3 formats this year. So that's kind of cool as well. But that means I have to buy 3 Witch's Brews, or possibly 6, because I have to buy doubles. And look at this. Eric Peter Carlson is getting love in the chat room. Let's hear it for Eric Peter Carlson. Can I tell you guys for a second about Eric Peter Carlson, my brother? He just recently did. I laughed, but when he told me, he's like, "I'm gonna do a thank you video to Casey Neistat." I'm like, Casey Neistat? Like, I love Casey Neistat, but why? He's like, it's like, I really think that, there's a kinship between Casey. Casey was also, he's a filmmaker. My brother is a filmmaker, if you don't know. Like, legitimately a filmmaker. He's got 3 feature films under his belt. And Casey's more from the commercial world, but, he felt a kinship with Casey. Casey and his daughter are both big Disney fans. He did a quick little thank you video to Casey for just being an inspiration of, whether it be YouTube or vlogger in general. Casey Neistat reached out to my brother Eric, and not only reached out to him, but praised him on his video. Come on. Casey, I'm right here. I mean, I know the production value is not the greatest, but I got Mickey here. I got Yankee Candles. All my tea lights are burning out, but usually there's lots of... Whatever. Not only that, Eric gets a shout out from Casey Neistat and Adam the Woo in the same week. But he's friends with Adam the Woo, so I guess whatever. But no, in all seriousness, if you are a Disney fan or if you're not a Disney fan, check out check out his vlogs. I'm serious. When I say that they're top-notch, high-quality editing, each and every single one of them has, it's kind of like its own little mini story. It has like a little narrative to it. Um, and trust me when I say he's putting his heart and soul into every single one of his videos. So check him out. I always promote him, not only because he's my brother, but just because I think he's done such a great job, and I can easily see how he's already inspired a whole slew of Disney vloggers now. It's funny how it's like he started doing his thing, and now there's a whole handful of people trying to replicate what he's doing. The good thing is they're just not doing it nearly as good as he is. So keep up the good work, Eric. And if you folks haven't seen his channel, it's Eric Peter Carlson. That's it. You go on YouTube, type in Eric Peter Carlson, or search the just youtube.com/Eric Peter Carlson. Eric with a K, and you'll see all of his videos. And there's one in particular. Maybe you want to type in Eric Peter Carlson, Mary Poppins. I'm in it. I'm featured in it. And it was one of the most traumatic moments of my life, because I'm in love with Mary Poppins, if you don't already know. I'm in love with Mary Poppins. And it was tragic, it was funny, and it was very well made. So thank you for joining us, Eric. Always glad to see you here. Fireside was in Mike. I'm hoping to go to Disneyland next year for the first time, says Leslie. I'm a seasoned Walt Disney World visitor. All right, so I'm kind of on. Well, I can't say I'm on the opposite end, because I'm not a seasoned Walt Disney land, or excuse me, a Disneyland visitor. But in recent years, it's been all about Disneyland for me. I'm working very hard on getting down to Disney World. But that's great, Leslie. Make sure you let myself know, or my brother know, when you're going to be there. Maybe you can bring some of your candles, and we'll have a Disney candle fest right at the park. Nancy's seen that Mary Poppins video. You guys, if you only knew the real story behind that Mary Poppins video, it was one of the most, seriously, and I mean, I embarrass easily, but this was like humiliation at the max, turned up all of the way. And if you watch the video, you might understand, you might not, but if you guys want, in the comments, ask me what was up with the video, I'll share what really happened. But definitely watch it. It's funny as hell. Funny as heck. Shane, do you burn Glade candles? Says Gabe. Asks Gabe. This is a great point, Gabe, because I was recently at Target. I was recently at like Dollar General. That's right, I go to Dollar General. If that's all right with you guys. I like going to Dollar General. They have some good stuff. Good candles too, or fun candles. And I found a whole bunch of Glade products, and every time I smell them, I'm like, okay, yes, these are not like luxury candles. The burn time on them is probably not the best. They're probably not, super complex, but for the price point, they are actually not bad. They're pretty nice. So I might do a video on Glade candles. I might. Because in many cases, you can get a decent sized Glade candle for like $3 and change. 508 Costa says, "What's up, candle people? Just got in. Anyone take advantage of the 4 for $48 Yankee Candle sale?" I haven't, Costa. 508 Costa. I don't know what you want to be referred to. But I did an outlet haul several days ago, so I'm good. I got everything I needed. Right now, I'm working on summer UK candles. Trying to get every last one of those. I have most of them. I got a few surprises for the US for the summer and some unanswered questions. I'm debating whether or not right now I want to tell you about it or share it for a video, another video. Thank you, Nancy, for reminding everyone to thumbs up the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's great too. Nancy wants to know the full story of the Mary Poppins video. Maybe we'll get. I just don't. It's so hard to describe. I just want to make sure I'm getting all your comments here. I just got back from the sale. Christina P says, "I used to burn them a few years ago. Some of their scents are decent, and I'm guessing Angie's referring to Glade candles, and I would have to agree. I remember their autumn lineup last year. I actually think I reviewed them. I did this short little video. It wasn't last year; it was 2 years ago. God, time flies. And I was pleasantly surprised by how nice they smelled. Leslie Pethybridge. I don't know why I'm saying your last name. Everyone knows Leslie as Leslie. I painted a dark version of Mary Poppins recently. I may need to send it to you. Well, don't send it to me. You should keep it, but definitely send me a photo of it. Maybe we can even share it. No reason to get rid of the original. Just take a nice picture. I would love to see it. On my Instagram, Nancy says, "I have a 2005 Christmas Glade candle. I can't believe I still have it." Wow. And Angie remembers that video. Wow, you guys are awesome. That was like number 6 on my sixth video is what I'm trying to say. 508 Costa says, "Happy Spring smells really good. Haven't smelled it since last year. Wow, got it again. Burning it after Easter." Yeah, I am not a big floral person. I have floral candles. I have tons of floral candles. And when I mean floral candles, that doesn't just qualify like floral candles like tulips, gardenia, honeysuckle, stuff like that. I mean, florals are in aquatic candles. Florals are in fresh, clean candles. Florals are in a lot of different genres. All the fresh candles that Yankee Candle makes. I can't really burn them, but I love buying them so I can smell them cold. But I remember 508. Yeah, Happy Easter. If you saw my review of that, I was really, really happy with it. The review I posted this year was actually reposted. It was the same review that I posted last year, because I smelled the candle this year. It was the same thing. There was no point of me refilming it, but I did want to cut it from a longer video, because I reviewed like several candles out of a longer video. So I isolated the Happy Easter candle and posted it individually. I think I did that. If I haven't done that, I will do that. Oh yeah, and Christina was saying Happy Easter was $8 at the store today. Yeah, there was some crazy deal on it, right? I think everyone should take advantage of that. Buy one to burn, buy one to hang on to, because the label's really nice. Sicilian lemon, juicy watermelon, cinnamon sticks, and a coupon for sparkling cinnamon. All right, Gabe. Getting a lot of Yankee Candles these days. And then Happy Spring was $8, as well as Peeps and white chocolates. Very cool. Very cool. I do want to point out for you folks, I don't know if you've seen the little Easter eggs. They come in like the marbled glass. They look like painted Easter eggs. It comes in a trio. I recently, like I said, I went to an outlet. They were retail candles, so they were not defective in any way, and they were on sale. So I just like my candles with lids. Otherwise, I would have gotten those. Mark Smith, mystery candle right here. I don't know if you've. I'm going to show you what this is. Since you're just joining us, this is a raspberry sorbet. This is at least 25 years old. I could always be wrong about that, but it's certainly at least 20, and it is burning right now. It's fixed. It had a little problem, had some tunneling issues. It's completely fixed, and it smells like a raspberry, a refreshing raspberry dessert in my room right now. Or if you want to take a warm approach, like a raspberry compote, something you just want to slather on top of waffles or pancakes. And the candle is decades old. So I just wanted to point that out. I know that you were curious, interested to know what this candle was. And it is a black band. In fact, it's doing so good right now. I want to put it out because I don't want to waste any more of it. But we have a nice flat surface. So, just in case we don't know, see how I just put the candle out? There's no smoke. No smoke, right? I use this little twist tie. Usually I use my my wick trimmer. You just dip that wick into the wax, just in case you don't know. I know a lot of people who do this. Dip that wick into the wet wax and then lift it out. And what that will do is prevent any of that big pluming white smoke. Because that pluming white smoke, what that can do is cause some serious smoke taint in the fragrance of your candle. It'll smell smoky, especially when you smell the lid. So I'm going to let that completely dry out. Put that back up here. I think we have 4 hours left on this on eBay, folks. So put in a bid if you're interested. It's funny. Angie says, Christina, you got pumpkin wreath? Was that at an outlet store? I'm kind of curious about this too. Because was Gabe taken off? Bye-bye, Gabe. I told you that I was going to break a Yankee Candle. And this is a good time. Throw in some suggestions. How would you like, what would be the best way to shatter a Yankee Candle? I know it's a sickening thought, but I'm making a video this week where I'm going to break a Yankee Candle and show you my method in fixing it. And my method has worked for me perfectly. I'm not saying I'm a genius when it comes to this, but I've never had a problem. They've pulled out just fine. I've gotten long life out of them. It's you don't have to melt all the wax down, because if you melt all the wax down, you're just going to be releasing all the fragrance, so that the candle is going to be half strong. So I do want to share my method with you, but what would be the best way to break, like epic? I'm talking about epic, guys, without myself getting arrested. All right, great. Well, Mark, you're gonna see what I do. You're gonna see what I do. A very light tap with a hammer. Is that the most dramatic thing you can think of? Cruise bat? Jackhammer. Now there we go. A jackhammer. That might destroy the wax as well. Bye bye, Gabe. A hammer. Shoot it in the backyard. That could be kind of funny. Drop it. See, I'm on the same page as Leslie. Like throwing it. I'm just trying to think of how I could do that, like legally. If anyone, if it's before your time, or if it just wasn't something that you folks remember, Gallagher, the comedian, he would throw watermelons off of rooftops and outside of windows. But slow motion close up of BB gunshot. That's a great idea. I was thinking, remember the old commercial? I don't know what the commercial was for. Maybe it was for a laundry detergent. I don't know what it was for. But the wine glass falling in super slow motion. We're talking like 2,000 frames per second, and it would shatter on the ground. I was thinking about that. The Hero 6, the GoPro, shoots high definition at like 280 frames per second, 260 frames per second. So I could do something like that. I got to think about it, but I'm going to break it, but then I'm going to show you how to fix it. That's coming up. I'm so excited. I'm this week, I just actually have like fun things to film because I'm caught up on my editing. Run it over with a car. That would be fun, but I need to realistically have the shape of the wax maintained, right? Like if the wax is completely destroyed inside, then I think the best thing to do is to throw it in the garbage. But yeah, when I had my earthquake in California, a lot of people thought that when my candles broke, it was because they fell off the shelf. It wasn't that at all. My candles were like this, right? And what broke them was them just tapping each other like that. They all just simply tapped each other and they shattered. Because they were all still on the shelves. So what I did was, if you guys live in California, here's a portion of my collection, right? What you do is you can run bungee cords, attach them here, and run them all the way through like that, and then all the way through like this. Bungee cords, like those ones you can get at the dollar store with the hooks, right? What that will do is it'll create like little square bungee boxing ring, wrestling ring protection. So this way the candles can't ever really touch themselves. So I did that. I after the earthquake, I had bungee cords between all of the candles, plus had this anchored to a steel beam, and of course we didn't have we did have an earthquake again after that, but it was a very small one. Some candles may have broken during that second earthquake, but they didn't, because my friend and I, Jeff, we made my earthquake proof. What year earthquake? The earthquake was Napa Valley, not the San Francisco earthquake. This was Napa Valley 2000, August 2014, I believe. 6.9 earthquake at 3 o'clock in the morning. Knocked people's houses off their foundations. I lost quite a few Yankee Candles. Okay, so I roll mine in a saucepan. Here's what Mark says. I roll mine in a saucepan on their side until it looks like a pillar candle and fits in. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So, Mark, that's actually not too far from what I'm doing, but I'll show you something that's gonna be that, you know what? If that works for you, that is, I think that's fine. As long as you can get like a really nice, perfectly even cylinder that will fit into a brand new jar. Here's the thing: you have two options. I'm going to show you some options. Um, Here's the problem with Yankee Candle jars. Very narrow, right? So getting this cylinder into this hole, not going to happen. So what Mark's talking about is he's melting the wax on the surface of the cylinder so that he could fit it back into the jar. So you have that option. I'm going to show you a slightly different method. Or the other option you have is this is oh, that wick looks ugly. Oh, it's amazing. Mason jar. This is a spiced pumpkin. And look how nicely that has burned. I mean, the glass needs to be cleaned. I'm very adamant about getting the schmutz off. But that is a very even burn, even though that wick desperately needs to be trimmed. So this gives you a little bit larger radius diameter, as long as you don't mind aesthetically the mason jar look. But you'll have to take off a whole lot less wax. And the less wax you have to melt down, the better. Because when you melt the wax, again, it's like burning the candle. You're expending all of that fragrance oil. Plus, you might have issues with the difference in the composition of the wax, right? Because the wax on the side is going to be different from the wax in the center. But we'll go over this. I'll put together a quick little video, and I hope it does well on YouTube. I could use a video that goes somewhat... Yeah, I haven't had a video go up in the multi-thousands in a while, and I could really use one right now. I remember my first earthquake when I lived in San Diego. So scary. Yes, I was not one to be scared, excuse me, by earthquakes. But, yeah, every time I hear like a large truck outside, that feeling comes back. I think once you've experienced a significant earthquake, I don't want to call it fear, but that initial response when something is loud or a bang happens, I don't think that'll ever go away. That shelf is unbelievable. I love it. Well, you got to see the others, but they're here. I said I was going to do a video on my collection, guys. It's not like I'm lying to you, but this office has quickly become a storage unit, and I guess like a little mini filming studio in this corner. I mean, you can't see it, but I do have studio lights. In fact, I don't even know how much I actually need it. You see the difference? It looks like it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Now it looks like it's day. You see the magic of lighting? But someone pointed out that the lighting, because this is what you would call, cool light, daylight. makes my paleness much more extreme. So over here, I have this very warm Edison tungsten bulb. You see how it gives off that yellowish light. So hopefully kind of balances things out. I don't know how well it's doing. Wow, we're still talking about earthquakes. Is the blueberry video still coming? I grabbed the blueberry returning favorite during the sale and the pineapple paradise. Is that one is amazing. The pineapple paradise is amazing. And that yeah, that to me pineapple paradise, if you want like genuine pineapple, that's the one to go with. But if you're looking for more, because there's several pineapple candles, and the ones I do want to recommend are um, the Williamsburg pineapple, especially since you don't have to buy it through them anymore. You can just order it on the website. That's more of like a pineapple soda, like a soda pop. Whereas what was the one, the pineapple upside down cake, very straightforward, but you know, okay, I don't quite get the cake part, but it does smell like a caramelized pineapple, and everyone just cut that one down to pieces. But I have to, because I like it. But the pineapple paradise is pretty awesome. Good choice. And I have to answer your question. Of course, I'm doing the blueberry video. I am doing the blueberry video. I'll show you the obvious ones. There's some that I'm keeping secret because they're hard to find. But we have New England blueberry. That will be a part of the experience with the oh. This was printed off of the super high resolution printer from the pop-up store in New York City. So even though if you get a personalized label at Yankee Candle, it looks awesome. This one was much higher resolution. It's scratch proof, and it doesn't have that satin finish. So that printer now resides at Deerfield. Just a heads up. I have the returning favorites, blueberry, again, with the picture. But I also have an older blueberry candle. An older, of the same fragrance, just an older pour. Blueberry muffin will be a part of that lineup. None of these have been burned. Blueberry scone, oh yeah, oh yeah. And that's the original. Well, it's not original, but it's a 2014. This one has been lit, but I don't think I'm gonna need to repurchase it. This is Berrylicious. Yeah, Cruise Bet, that's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna end up getting the Black Band blueberry. But look how well that's burned there. These, I haven't pulled some of these out in a while. Oh, and this one doesn't belong here. See, this is what I mean about my OCD. I can't believe this was here. But this does have a story. Vineyard is in my blueberry section. Should not be there. But this candle was purchased from my staff when I was working in Napa Valley after the earthquake. Even though people's houses were knocked off their foundations. People had to sell their houses. People's cars were damaged. You know, tree branches fell on people's houses and crushed. So much damage occurred, and yet they felt so bad for me and my lost candles that they purchased this vineyard candle. So even though This really is not one of my favorite Yankee Candle fragrances. It smells great. It smells nothing like a vineyard, but um, it's a very special candle to me personally. Um, this one can't share with you what I can't tell you what that one is. Can't tell you what that one is, and I still have a few more. Ooh, I still have a few more. Welch's grape juice. Well, yeah, but I think that's fair. Because Vineyard, this smells like Concord grape. So real quick wine thing, Concord grapes, Thompson seedless grapes. Thompson seedless grapes are going to be the grapes that you buy in the grocery store. No seeds, right? The greens and the red. Thompson seedless grapes. American species, the Vitis lambrusca, right? And Concord grapes are also of the American species. The European species of grapes, the Vitis vinifera, right? Two different species. The vinifera grapes are going to be wildly, much, 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 much more complex. They're not nearly as going to get as big, and that's why they have explosive flavor. So 99% of all wine is going to be made out of the European species, the Vitis vinifera. And believe it or not, Thomas Jefferson is kind of given the credit for bringing the Vitis vinifera to America, which is pretty cool. Say a wine made out of Concord grape. If anyone's had Manischewitz before, that would be an example of a wine made from Concord grapes. It tastes like grape jelly. Jackie Brown's got to run. Have a fantastic evening. And Shane, keep your eye out for New Zealand wildberry. I will do that. I want blueberry pie so bad right now, says Nancy. Leslie says, I love blueberry candles. Yes, I don't think we all do, but I think we're all looking for like the ultimate blueberry candle, which is what is inspiring this video. Blueberry scone. Nancy says, I'm guessing I would like to see a best of wine video. That would be hard. That would cost lots of money. I mean, I could just share my opinion and not have them in front of me and smelling them. But I thought what would be nicer to do, I think I've already mentioned it on the stream, is that on this. Oh, by the way, yesterday I thought I was on this channel. I was on my main channel. So I have to fix that. But on this channel, we need to get to 10,000 views. 10,000 views. Why? Because at that point, the channel will be eligible for super chats. It's not because I want you guys to be giving me more money. Super chats, what that'll do is we can all throw in a couple pennies, a couple dollars maybe. If you're interested into seeing, what I could do is like a video on 10, 15, $20 price range wines, and in my opinion, break them down and show you why I think they are great values. Because can you find a great wine for $10? Depends on what the wine is. It's tough. But can you find a pretty decently, a decent bottle that's serviceable for $10? Yeah, of course, right? Especially if it's a Friday night or if you're having a bunch of friends over. So I would like to stay away from the expensive wines because I don't want to be opening up, $78 bottles of wine. I don't want to be opening up Opus One. I don't want to be opening up champagnes because it's just me. And to be honest with you, a lot of it would end up going down the drain. And I've done enough of that in my lifetime working in the restaurant world. I don't want to do it again. I used to have to dump thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. I'm going to say it one more time because it bears repeating. Thousands of dollars of wine down the drain every single day. Working in the restaurant world, because you can't serve a wine after a certain period of time, right? So I don't want us to waste our money. Bully Hill, that name always comes up. Bully Hill is going to be made from. Well, they have different ones. They do make Riesling. They make a blush slash rosé. But what I mean by blush slash rosé is that it does have some residual sugar in it. Most of them have residual sugar. But what I'm gonna do is, I think what we'll do is once we get super chat, we'll do like a $10 to $20 range, best of worldwide values of white wine, red wine. We could do rosé. We could do small production. We could do large production, and the super chats will help fund that, because all we have to do is like throw in a dollar. What's cool about doing that is that you can actually go out and buy that $10 bottle of wine, and we can all taste it together. See how it would be an interactive experience. We can actually talk about it and share our opinions. And I'll share with you some basic wine tasting notes, like things like protocol, what you should do while you're tasting wine, what you should be looking out for. So it'll be an educational experience for those who want to get into wine tasting a little bit more. I think that would be a great thing, a great something to do for this channel. To again take a break from candles every once in a while and use our sense of smell in a different arena. I blended a tart of vineyard last night with white gardenia, midnight jasmine, and black sand beach. I'm guessing, yeah, because black sand beach milk cups. So nice, Brian. That sounds crazy. You are quite the mixologist. I like it. You got the floral, you got the big bombastic fruits, you got more of the soft kind of clean floral of that jasmine, and then you got the earthiness, the saltiness of the black sand beach. Very, very nicely done. I would love to see what that smells like, or smell what that smells like. Leslie, I live along the wine trail and am always afraid to go as I know nothing. I have a winery right up the road from me. Leslie, here's the thing. This is a reason why nobody should ever be worried about going wine tasting. I've worked in a wine room. I've poured wine, right? But I'm telling you, 99% of the people who work in tasting rooms are salespeople. They probably know as little about wine as you think. I'm sure you know more than you think you know. Give me 3 hours with a couple glasses of wine. I could teach you enough to know than most of these wine pours in these tasting rooms. So you don't ever feel self-conscious. Just ask questions. You know, be confident with your questions. I mean, sometimes they might be silly questions. It's questions that they get all the time. Like, someone said to me, what grapes? I get this all the time. Like, what grapes are in your Chardonnay? And I'm like, I would ask, I'm like, what do you mean? Like the blend of like what's blended with the Chardonnay? And they're like, no, like what grapes make up your Chardonnay? And I wouldn't make fun of them. I wouldn't say like, oh, how could you not know? Chardonnay is the grape. I wouldn't make fun of them. Same thing when they say like, I like Barolo, but I don't like Sangiovese. Or excuse me, I don't like Nebbiolo, the grape Nebbiolo. Well, Sangiovese, or excuse me, Barolo is the place. The grape is Nebbiolo. So by saying you don't like Nebbiolo, but you like Barolo, you know, I would hear all these things all the time, but I would never judge anybody for that. So don't ever feel intimidated to go into a tasting room, especially if it's on the north in the Northeast, whether it be New York State or Connecticut, Massachusetts, Long Island. Nicole says wineries. A winery here makes wine in cans. You know that's becoming a thing. Francis Ford Coppola, if you don't know, is a you've seen Coppola wine before, but he has a much bigger, much more prestigious wine called Inglenook. It's a vineyard that existed prior to pre-prohibition or prior to prohibition. Prior to prohibition, he owns it, and so he makes very upscale wines. And where was I going with that? Oh yeah, and he makes a wine in a can. He makes a wine in a can. It's actually called Sophia after his daughter, and it's delicious. The canning process um, is really, I guess the technology is really improving. Like beers are coming back in cans, um, like microbrews. Washington State wines. I haven't spent too much time in Washington State, like Walla Walla, Columbia valleys, but I'm very familiar with the wine. Same thing with Oregon. I spent a little bit more time tasting in Oregon, working in the vineyards, working in the wine, not working in the wineries, but spending time in the vineyards, spending time in the wineries. Um, but trust me, I've had my fair share of Washington wines, and I'm a huge supporter of Washington wines. Huge supporter of Oregon wines as well. And Hobby Kitty says, I've been learning how to properly nose. I like the way you're speaking. I'm been learning how to properly nose whiskey. I'm a total noob. Don't worry, just have fun with it. Yeah, perfect way to describe it. Just don't worry about it. Problem with whiskey tasting or any spirit tasting, and then we'll get off the topic of booze, um, is that whereas with wine you can expectorate, I expectorate, meaning it's the pleasant word for spit, right? Because, um, for example, my record was I tasted 300 Zinfandels, 300 Zinfandels in 4 hours once. That's my all-time record as far as how many wines I've tasted. And I took extensive notes on every single one. Keep that in mind. But with spirits, you have to actually swallow a little bit to get the full experience. So when you're doing like a whiskey based spirit or like a scotch tasting, especially, even sake becomes a little bit troublesome. You have to swallow a little bit. You have to kind of keep the number to like between 9 to 20 in one sitting. Plus, I always say after about a dozen of anything, your palate is done, is done for the day. So when people go out to Napa Valley and taste like 60 wines in one day, I mean, have fun. If you're celebrating and you want to get tipsy with your friends and you have someone driving you safely, fine, go for it. But if you're doing it to educate yourself, you really want to cap it off at about 12 to 18 wines a day, unless you really have extensive experience. Yes, 300 Zinfandels in 4 hours. And trust me, it's an exposition called ZAP. Anyone from the San Francisco area, it's an annual expo, and it is open to the public. The first portion of the day is industry only. Second portion of the day it's open to the public, and it is one of the biggest displays of human intoxication you will ever see. It is insane. It is absolutely insane. Because if you don't know about Zinfandel, Zinfandel is a warm climate grape. Warm climate means more sun. More sun means riper fruit. Riper fruit means more sugar. More sugar means more alcohol. It's not unlikely to see a Zinfandel have something like 17, 18% alcohol. All right, so let's get back to these candles here. Whiskey. Yeah, one day I did 19, not, well, whiskeys, but Scotch whiskeys, followed by 12 Barolos. Barolo, Nebbiolo grape, northern Italy, sandpaper on the tongue. One of the most tannic grapes, if not the most tannic grape in the world. Not only that, but they're heavily, heavily aged in French oak, which gives them even more tannin. I did that all in one day. I kept myself together, but man, like when people say like, "Oh man, how is that? You know, how can tasting wine in an educational in an educational format be stressful?" It becomes stressful because you got to keep it together. You got to keep it together because some of those wines, you're only going to taste them once in your life, and that's it. If you can't remember it, if you can't take proper notes, that's it. Angie says, I bought a Barolo in Italy, but haven't opened it yet. No rush, Angie. You can hold on to it probably for another 20 years. So no rush. Just wait for the right moment. Just make sure you're keeping it out of sunlight, and you probably want to store it upside down like this. I know that sounds weird, but store it like that if you plan on aging it for a very long time. Some were heavily peated scotches, but not all of them. But was really cool, during this specific tasting, we had actual peat, and it was like the first time I actually like got to like smell peat, like, and it was a great tasting. I just really wish that like my education was at the Culinary Institute of America in Napa Valley for my wine education, and I know they would have frowned upon it, but I just wish that all of those lectures were photographed or on video. A lot of them I would just record off my iPhone. Even that was not really allowed, but I did that for studying purposes. But the classes were taught by master sommeliers, so I mean, it's like you couldn't possibly have better mentors. Okay. What else do I have to show? All right. Speaking of alcoholic beverages, if you guys tuned in to the live video yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. Because of the main interest of the man's collection candles, I don't know how this is a man's collection, but I'm working on a video. Thanks to Nicole. Big shout out to Nicole. I'm working on a video on working on a video for movie night. I think it's gonna be a fun one because I love making popcorn in all bunch of different ways, and that's really what I'm gonna do. And then I did this live, but I'm gonna do another version edited for camouflage. And riding mower, bacon. Bacon, and then I think that might be it. I might do Mantown, but it's just not. It's not a bad smell. It's just not as intriguing as some of these. But this is one that everyone asks about, and I have to do it. I have to do it. And to be honest with you, revisiting it yesterday, I want to take back some of maybe some of the negative things I've said about it. Not everyone's going to love it. Most people are probably going to despise it. But that's going to, of course, be on tap. On tap meaning out of the tap, beer on draft, very domestic. I mean, the thing is, I smelled this in my car yesterday for, a few minutes. My car still smells like beer, like stale beer. But there's some good things to say about this. There's some interesting things to say about this, and I have two of them, which means two people will be able to get their hands on these, hopefully for a very good price. So, On Tap will be coming up soon. This is a 2014, which was the year that this one was released, I believe. If not, it was 2012. Several of you folks have been asking about this candle. If you've been shopping on the eBay account, you probably have seen it. This was a returning favorite, no, excuse me, a Yankee treasure for several years. Yankee, if you don't know, Yankee treasure is what they now call returning favorites. So it did eventually, it went away, and it probably will come back, but this is, if you're about Mountain Lodge, if you're about the whole idea of Mountain Lodge, oh God, what are the other ones? If you like the whole idea of, log cabins in the wilderness, in the woods, to me, this candle is all about being a kid in the backyard during the autumn season, grass stains on my jeans, dirt underneath my fingernails, the smell of the foliage all around me, and the smell of the forest. Can anybody guess what I'm holding? I found a bunch of these, and it's like I just said, it's just several people have been mentioning it recently. Oh, you have to, whether from me or on eBay if you want to get in the house warmer. Everyone needs this candle in their collection. This one is called Treehouse Memories. The label changed a few times. The children have changed a few times, but the fragrance has remained the same. I was able to get my hands on a few of these. I absolutely adore this candle, and I don't have one in a house warmer anymore, which really makes me upset. So I hope they bring it back as a returning favorite very soon. But this is a 2-wick, 12.5 ounce soy wax blend. I highly recommend it. I have one that I started up on eBay for 99 cents, and I have a few buy it nows. But with all my heart, if you are an outdoorsy person, if you were a kid who built like forts, if you were a kid who would play in like the forest or climb trees like Macaulay Culkin and My Girl, did he climb trees? Yeah, he climbed trees. I don't know where that came. I don't know where that reference came from, but either way, this is childhood locked inside of this candle. I'll read the Yankee Candle notes for you real quick. I mean, I could go on for days about this, but let's see how Yankee Candle sums it up. Yankee Candle calls Treehouse Memories top notes of spruce and clover. Yes, okay, I'll agree with that. I could expand upon that quite a bit, but let's leave it there. Middle notes of amber. Ugh, amber. I don't like that. I don't like the description because amber doesn't smell. Doesn't smell, guys. Amber is petrified resin. It doesn't smell. They mean other things when they say amber. And cinnamon. Cinnamon stick, absolutely. And cedar, absolutely. So, but there's so much more going on. I close my eyes, I'm thinking of the autumn leaves, I'm thinking of the acorns, I'm thinking of the soil, I'm thinking of the wet bark and the moss on the trees. Everything is just a touch saturated. It's cold. It's a lovely candle, and it's, for me, it's rare to find, and I found several of them. This will be going out. Do we have anyone who's a part of the subscription? If anyone's a part of the subscription box, close your ears, even though I think I just gave it away. This will be going out in the subscription box this month, but I do have extras, so they will be making. I have a few to put up on eBay. So if this is something that you need in your collection or you want to experience, it has my full recommendation. Treehouse Memories. Yankee, bring it back. Bring it back and do a good job with the label. The label has a large. It's a lot. Has to, you know. It's an important part of the candle. And here's one that I recently got my hand on. It's a pillar. That's right. Which means it's quite old. And as you can see, that shrink wrap, not a single tear anywhere. I'm gonna age this in. Well, let's see if it says, just in case. No, it doesn't. 70 to 85 hour pillar candle. It is scented. It is Christmas wreath. Look at that label. Look at the label. That was another thing about these pillar candles. Look at the size of these labels. This is 3 inches in diameter, 6 inches high. Christmas wreath. And yeah, I wish Yankee would start doing this again. I think this would be a great way for Yankee to kind of go in a different direction than other candle companies. Bring back the pillar candles. Although I'm sure the liability becomes an issue, you know, with worries of fires and stuff like that. But, you know, I have a pillar candle going right now. Where did I put it? Right here. Perfect pillar. Not a Yankee Candle perfect pillar, but I put my pillar candles. You can find something like this at Goodwill in like 4 seconds. I put it in there. This way, if for whatever reason it does tip over, or if the wax starts to drip off to the side, it catches it. This I'm gonna hang on to, but don't be surprised if you see this on eBay. I just think it's a little bit too early for Christmas right now. What else do we need to talk about? Let's take a couple questions before we wrap up on Smell It Sunday. Yankee had an amazing spring lineup this year. Summer will have a hard time bettering that. Oh man, I really wish I could share. Wish I could share a couple things with you. Before I do, maybe I will. Hold on. Let me just see. If it's on the website, then I guess it's not a secret. It's just crazy, guys. You know, the Christmas candles are already released for, not released, but the promotions have leaked for the Christmas candles for the UK collection already. I don't like this. I don't like this. Because what this means is the earlier they're leaked, the earlier I have to get them, and the earlier I have to evaluate them. And nobody wants to see Christmas reviews during the summer. Am I right? No, see. No, it is on the website. All right. Very interesting. Let me show you something. If I just put my butt in your face, I apologize. So these come in so far only car jars, ultimate car jars, or car jars ultimate, car jar ultimate, whatever they're called, and the smart scent vent clips. But I've never seen a fragrance only released as car fragrances. And what might confuse you is that UK has a candle they released called Raindrops. Raindrops. I'm going to be talking about that one soon. So this is what might confuse you. Raindrops. But this is different. Can you read that? And see the picture? Rainfall. Rainfall. This is something that will be, I guess it's available on sale, but I don't think it's in retail. It's available for sale on the website, but it's not in retail. And then there's also, this is a spoiler alert, guys. I do this just for you. I got a whole video for this on the main channel coming up. Another one, Bright Blue. Have any of you guys seen these yet? Now, does this mean that they will be coming out with Bright Blue and Rainfall in wax form? I don't know. It's a quandary. It's something that I don't know. I haven't been able to figure out. But if you go to your outlets, good chance you might be able to find them already. I got a Pink Sands just for me, for my car. And then, do you guys want to hear the scents for 2016? 2018? We'll do that, and then we'll take a few of those questions that I was talking about. And then we'll wrap things up. But you're going to want to hear these. And if you don't want to hear these, plug your ears. These are all of the new scents, both US and UK, that are coming out for 2018. Trust me, if you don't want to know, please look away or close your ears. And if you need to see a list of them, watch my St. Patrick's Day video. And if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's really cool. I did a lot of candles. It's an epic. It's like 32 minutes long. So, first quarter, we know we had Rainbow Cookie, which was US and UK. Came out February 3rd. Juicy Citrus and Sea Salt, which was US, UK. Sun-Drenched Apricot Rose, US, UK. Peaches and Cream, just US. Early Spring Bloom, US and UK. Calm Quiet Place, US and UK. Sweet Nothings, US and UK. Color Me Happy, which was, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. And Wildflower Blooms finally hit the shelves on March 4th. But for the summer, we have, for the UK only, and we have, I don't have all of these yet, but I'm working on it. As soon as I have the last two, I will be doing my evaluation. Sweet Candies. Again, these are UK only. Sweet Candies, Misty Mountains, Coconut Splash, and Tropical Jungle. Yes. Easter, we know those by now. We have Happy Spring, White Chocolate, Peeps, and in the outlets, you will be able to find 2018 pours of Bunny Cake, Chocolate Bunnies, and Happy Easter. Is this an 18 pour? This is an 18 pour. Making Memories collection. Those are the ones, remember the Valentine's Day candle, the 3-wick tumbler that was called Love Enchanted? This is that collection. And they're not new fragrances. They're 3-wick tumblers, stout, and they have they're single named, like Love is the name of the candle. The fragrance is Enchanted. Patience, Sea Glass, Strength, Cherry Blossom, Balance, Sugar Vanilla, Laughter, Sunbright. Now some of those might not sound familiar, and that's because some of those are new fragrances. Summer and Autumn for both US and UK. We have Rainfall, not to be confused with Raindrops. Bright Blue, those are going to be US only. UK only, we have Autumn Pearl for autumn, obviously. This is probably autumn as well. Raindrops, even though it's already released. So I don't understand how things work in the UK. I'm still trying to figure it out. We also have Enchanted Moon for UK. UK has Poached Pear Flambe. UK also has Sun-Kissed Thistle. You could tell that these ones sell in the US, unfortunately, although I'm sure all of us would want them. Halloween, I can't share all my information, guys. I'm working really hard on my videos this year, putting in a lot of effort. But what I can say is we will see Witch's Brew. I think that's safe to say. I think everybody knows that Sweet Seduction has replaced Candy Corn, but what's exciting is Sweet Seduction wasn't, the UK did not get Sweet Seduction last year. They will be getting it this year, so that's cool. For US only at this point, in a format that I can't really share at this moment, mainly because I don't know for sure. Forbidden Apple will be there. It will be there. It's not going away, but it's hard to say if it will be released in like a trio like in prior years. There is a new fragrance for Halloween this year. New fragrance. And there will be at least one, but most likely two returning favorites for Halloween. Sea Witch. I wish it was Sea Witch. We never petitioned. We should have petitioned all year and made that happen. But they did bring back Black Sand Beach. Maybe that had something to do with us. It didn't, but it's nice to dream, right? Because Black Sand Beach was immediately, they said they were not bringing it back, but they brought it back. So, very happy. For Christmas 2018, as a part of, this was supposed to happen this past Christmas, and something, I don't know what happened. They pulled the plug on it, but it's happening this year. 2018, we're at least seeing a partial amount of my favorite things coming back for the holiday season. Cream-colored ponies, moon on their wings, raindrops on roses. That's going to be, the UK is going to see them probably on QVC for a pre-sale. And then in the US, they will be released. probably in November. And then for the UK, we have the Christmas Sparkle Collection. Winter Wonder, Frosty Gingerbread. I've typed down Frost Gingerbread. It's supposed to be Frosty Gingerbread. Glittering Star and Icy Blue Spruce. And I have more for you. But these are all subject to change. So I mean I've punished myself for this. Like Tuscan Vineyard, I was telling everybody it's coming, it's coming, it's coming out, and it never came out. It came out in Hallmark, and it came out on an online exclusive for like 2 weeks. But these are other ones that are on the roster, but like I said, they're subject to change. Sheer Linen, Citrus Spruce, Sweet Nectar Blossom, Exotic Bergamot. These sound an awful lot like UK fragrances so far. Evening Star, Velvet Woods, Harvest Walk, Sweet Orange Spice, not to be confused with Spicy Orange and Evergreen, or Zesty Orange Garland. Pear and Tea Leaf, Dark Berries, Coastal Cypress, Shore Breeze, not like shore, yeah, like shore, like the coast, Shore Breeze, Sweet Frosting, so these are obviously Christmas now, Amaretto Apple, yes, thank you, finally, get Amaretto in there. Holiday Pomegranate, and Frosted Fir. The names are subject to change. The fragrances on the roster are subject to change. There could be more, there could be less. But so far, this is what is on the lineup for 2018. And this excludes some of like the very specific lines. There's always going to be those lines that come out like what was it, the Life's a Breeze, Pink Sands, and Driftwood, the the Glass collection or the Watercolor collection, right? There's always going to be those, but these are going to be the releases for US and UK. But like I said, don't shoot the messenger if any of these change. What are you guys saying? I can't say anything about Halloween, Jackie Brown. I can't say anything about Halloween. I am working on my apple. I was reading Angie Clementine's video or post, Amaretto Apple exclamation point. I'm working on my Halloween video, but it was my biggest trio of videos last year. So I want to make sure that the work I am doing is not getting into other people's hands, because I want to bring it to you first. Why? Because I'm doing a lot of work to find out. So I want to make sure that I am delivering the goods, the information, before anyone else gets it to you. Yes, Frosty Gingerbread, Glittering Star, Icy Blue Spruce, and Winter Wonder is going to be a part of that, what is it called? The Christmas Sparkle collection for the UK. Those, if you want to Google those, all of those labels can be found very easily. I don't know why. I don't even think they leaked. I think they just, the UK shared them, which I think it ruins it for a lot of people. So let's take some questions. Let me remind you one more time. Look at that, folks. We have a brand new, not a brand new, but we have a completely fixed raspberry sorbet. Just think of Mary Poppins when you burn this candle. I'm gonna clean her up. It's on eBay right now. 7 bids, $15.50. 3 hours left. Again, all of the money goes into supporting the channel, and you know what? Well, it's gonna sell. Someone's getting it. But if it didn't sell, I'd be more than happy to keep it for myself. But someone is gonna get it at this point. There were already bids on it. There were bids on it last night before I even gave the name of the candle out. Gotta take some rubbing alcohol to that. I'm gonna clean this all up. And we have the lid. Gonna get a little, I'll get that little red stain off there. And then that'll be going to someone. Take a nice good look at that. You can find that it's not currently in production. You can find a contemporary version of this though. But if you're not, if you're starting like me, if you're starting into getting into black bands, whether they're brand new, unlit, this gets my approval. It hasn't gone bad. If I come across one that smells bad, I'll let you know. And as always, I got a few of the Kringle Candle Halloweens. There's a few more. I'm looking at them right now. I have them pushed off to the side. Once they are gone, I do have more, but I am not going to list them until July or August because I want to have them for Halloween. And I got a little surprise here for you too. A lot of people saying, okay, so Wolf's Bane, Fright Night, Witch's Cauldron, Kringle Halloween candles, but there was a fourth. There was a fourth candle. And why don't you have it? It's here. It's here. But you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. So the good news is I do have the fourth candle, but I am not going to be putting these on eBay now. So what I'm saying is, if you want to get these Halloween candles before August, like if you really are anxious to smell them or get a couple in your collection, get them now. I've reduced the prices because I just want to clean out the ones that I've allotted for the spring. What else do I have up? I have the UK version of Haunted Hollow. Now they look almost identical, the US and the UK version. But what I like about the UK version, you see here we got the new font. The UK version has the classic Yankee Candle font, Haunted Hollow. And folks, you're going to want to get this fragrance if you like it. You reading what I'm saying? You're going to want to get this fragrance if you like it. Here's another clue. If you wanted to get this fragrance when it came out, you should have gotten it. What else is up on eBay? That's it. That's it for eBay. But like I said, Treehouse. Oh, Treehouse is up there. Treehouse Memories is up there. I'm going to get Jelly Beans up there. And remember, Eric, purchasing it, I will hold on to it. You don't even have to pay for it. If it's something that you've given up for Lent, I will take payment for it after Friday, if that suits you. And some fun stuff coming up today, this week. We're not going to be just doing evaluations. We're going to be breaking candles. We're going to be fixing candles. There's going to be blow torches involved. There's going to be flames involved. There's going to be slow motion involved. There'll be aluminum baseball bats. We're going to have a lot of fun this week. And then the week following, someone just purchased the UK Haunted Hollow. So there goes that. Thank you for whoever purchased it. Um, and then the prior week we're going to be traveling. Um, I'm going to try to recover some of the footage I lost off that hard drive, and I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this, and I'm also excited that you guys joined me today for an hour and 47 minutes and 6 seconds. I said questions. Did I say tipple? What's a tipple? Okay, Brian, Shane, do you know what fragrance causes the fog machine note in Haunted Hollow? I'll look into that, Brian. I've heard people use that before. I think a few other, I think good friend Doug from Spooky Villages used that as a descriptor. I'm very, 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 very familiar with the smell of fog juice, both from working in film and theater and in working in the haunted house industry. I worked in the haunted house industry, if you can believe that. And I could see where they're going with that. But I really think it is a sweet incense slash that pine needle thing that it's striking the association up. I could be wrong. Um, if it is an actual fragrance oil that is in there, it would be something that's aldehydic. It would be an aldehyde, right? Because unless they, I, it's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out like what that fog machine smells like, vaporized, sudsy, soapy fluid. So maybe there's something soapy in there that's giving it that note. Either way, it's a great question. I like that descriptor, fog machine. That would also make a great name for a candle. Um, um, and I'm starting to trademark some of these. Don't steal my ideas, but or not smoke and fog, fog and mirrors, um, or smoke and mirrors maybe. I don't know. I think it's a lovely name for a candle. Eric says, "Is Smell It Sunday canceled next week for Easter?" You guys let me know. I have no problem doing it. But if you want to reschedule it, if that's better for everybody, that's it. We can maybe work on that, or maybe just do an extra time. Oh, a tipple, as in the beverage. I thought I pronounced something wrong. Um, I don't think I'm well versed or experienced too much. But yeah, I mean, I'm always up for anything. There's very little things that I say I don't like. Like I'll drink absinthe straight up and love it if it's good absinthe. I want to make sure I get all your comments. I don't want dead air. Ace of Spades. Is that worth the price? Based on the fact that oh, wait a minute. you're talking about the sparkling wine, not talking about a candle. What is the going price these days? No, it's not worth the price. And that's my personal humble opinion. Um, what I'm seeing here right now is this is outrageously expensive. Grand Cuvée. Walk into your local wine shop, reputable wine shop, and ask them if you want to spend a good amount of money on a bottle of sparkling wine. Ask them, okay, if you want to spend a good amount of money on champagne, ask them what selections and which years they have for champagne Grand Cuvée. Like Dom Perignon shouldn't really cost you more than a couple hundred. Um, and my suggestion would be a 2002 or 2006. Anything earlier than that is going to be too expensive. Um, and as far as sparkling wine, if you really, really, really want to save money, go American, go USA, or go Spanish. In Spain, cava, which is sparkling wine, is made in the champagne method, meaning it's not made like soda. A lot of sparkling wine is made like soda. CO2 is infused in the wine, where champagne method is the wine is actually being fermented, partially fermented inside the actual bottle. Cava, you can get a great bottle for like $22, like a great bottle. A great bottle of champagne is going to cost you closer to 100 plus into the 200 range. So it's just what you're paying for in many cases when it comes to champagne. Again, the Champagne region of France is the scarcity and the reputation. Sonoma sparkling wine, Domaine Carneros out of Napa Valley, amazing. Like their standard brut sparkling wine, 100% Chardonnay, um, goes for like $21. Yeah, like that you can afford that. I can afford that. But I mean, to me, like if you're really, really spending heavy duty dollars on something like this, Dom Perignon, it's got to be for a special occasion. Because the price, you're not paying for quality, you're paying for scarcity and reputation. Let's put it that way. Great question. Great question. Jackie. Okay, for real this time, I'm out. Goodbye, Jackie. Um, uh, Absinthe is awesome, says Angie. Angie, look up St. George out of Oakland, California. You may have heard me say it before, but it's the real deal. I don't mean the real deal like you're going to hallucinate. What I mean by the real deal is they're not selling it as novelty. It's not going to come in a slimy green color. It's going to be made to perfection. And they make three different... Excuse me, they do not make three different. They make one absinthe. It might have a name, it may not, I can't remember, but on the it looks like a medicinal bottle, and on the label is a monkey with a hammer, and that might sound like novelty. It's not. It's amazing. You can drink it straight up. I drink my absinthe straight up. No water, no sugar. A lot of people look down on me for doing that, but there's nothing like that sensation of a drop of that absinthe hitting your tongue, and it's like it just evaporates in your mouth. It's such an experience. but definitely look them up. They make 3 amazing gins as well. They make barrel aged gin. They make whiskeys. Really good stuff. If you can get your hands on them. The problem is importing into Texas is a huge issue. Huge tax issue. So you might have to go out of state. Brian, what is... Okay, Brian's saying he's referring to his fog machine thing. It smells like an indoor Disney ride, so nostalgic for me. The Haunted Hollow? Yeah, you know what? I can see that. If anyone's been to Disneyland, well, or those who have been to Disneyland, if you've that smell of Pirates of the Caribbean, oh man, if they can make that into a candle. If only they can make that into a candle. Angie goes, I may have tried it already. My memories of absence are pretty funny. Yes. One serving is usually good enough. But I would do absinthe tastings all the time because, again, it's one of those things. Well, of course, it was technically illegal in the U.S. for years, and then they realized that was kind of nonsense. And it just has a really great flavor, and there's so many great cocktails that you could make from it. Corpse Reviver #2. And Angie says, no, she does it with the water and sugar. Everybody does it with the water and sugar. It's not that I oppose to it. I mean, when you add that water, it opens it up. It really does. It opens it up. You get a lot more flavors, more aromatics. I just like it straight up. It's just a personal preference. And Brian, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, the wormwood was what made it illegal. It's just the law was set so long ago and they just never addressed it. I don't know if like wormwood is actually even harmful in small quantities. It's like fruit, like apples and grapes. There's arsenic in apples and grapes in the seeds, but it's in such small quantity that you would need to. I think someone said to me you would need to eat 300 grape seeds, like literally eat 300 grape seeds before it would actually become a problem. Um, I don't think anyone's eating 300 grape seeds. Yeah, it was just the reputation. I think a lot of people just assumed that it was a hallucinogenic, so it stayed illegal for a while. Oh, and this is a great comment. Angie throws in, it was thought to be toxic, but it was just the stuff that was poorly made. There we go. I think any moonshine uh, can have wormwood. All right, so there you go. That's another thing. Moonshine is a whole other topic that really I know very little. I mean, I know about, but I have very little experience tasting. All right, folks, that is going to be it for me today. As always, Sunday, I would love to just throw on uh, something good to watch and relax, but I have lots of stuff to catch up on now. But the good thing is I'm excited about it. I have a lot of fun things. One more time, let me show you. Bam, brand new. Come on, people, come on. If you don't want it, I'll keep it. But check out the eBay auctions and then follow me on eBay. Again, ebay.com/USR/aromatic adventures. And by slash, I mean backslash. That'll bring up my page, and then I'm going to be getting up a lot of these things that we talked about soon, and there's going to be a couple surprises, and and I do want to promote this. I'm usually very hesitant to promoting Patreon, but every so often I really want to make a point of it. Check out the Patreon account, whether it is a penny, a dollar a month you can throw in. If my content's always free, my content will always be free. You never have to pay a single dime. But if you want to contribute, if everyone, say for example, threw in $1 a month, we would be going places. Until we get the subscription level higher on this channel, really looking to fund all of the fun things that I have scheduled for the spring and the summer. So check it out. There are really some cool um, um, uh, rewards. Merchandise is going to be available. Erin just got she got the first piece of merchandise ever. She got the Candle Enthusiast Mary Tyler Moore Show themed mug. That's going to her. But I will be making more of those, limited edition of those. But another tier on Patreon that's coming up that I want to bring a note to. Right now, there's a personalized video, right? There's a personalized video, meaning if you're at a $15 a month pledging, you're not paying me for my services. You're pledging the money, like PBS. My thank you to you is what I will do is send you a personalized video to you. So anything, any questions you have for me, anything you would like to see me do, like, well, I don't want to say that, anything you want to see me do, but if you want like a private video of like, you know, if I go to like Disneyland and you want like just like a private video where it's just me and you kind of chatting, or me addressing you, or if you want like, you know, a short little private wine lesson, or if you want any specific candle you want me to evaluate, the ideas are endless. $15 every month, you'll get a video that's at least 18 minutes long. But I'm going to be changing this very soon. What I'm going to do is be adding a little hard drive, a little flash drive. So this way I can actually send it to you in the mail. And it's not just going to include a video. It's also going to include a lot of the research I've been doing. So you're going to get inside information like that Halloween stuff. You're going to get photographs that I take while I'm on the road. You'll get, like I said, clips, documents, photographs of old labels, all the stuff that I put in my computer, right, to share and document for myself. I'll put on that hard drive. You'll get an individual hard drive once a month. That is not on Patreon right now, but that will be coming soon, so look out for that. But there's a couple spots left for subscription boxes. Got a couple days before that'll be up for the month. You'll have to wait till the next month. Patreon.com is essentially how I've kept this show alive. It's how I wouldn't be able to be still doing this show if it wasn't for Patreon. And it's for your very, very kind, generous pledges, contributions. The whole Lizzie Borden thing would never have happened if it wasn't for you guys. I wouldn't be able to afford it. I don't have I can buy the candles. I buy these candles. These candles are not being purchased by you. I'm buying the candles. The money is going to the traveling, the admissions, the gas, the parks, the museums, stuff like that. And that's what I want to be doing more and more and more and more and more of. But until we get higher subscription level, it's just going to be a little bit harder to keep the show on the road. I was really hoping to have a big explosion of subscribers this year. And although I like having a nice intimate little group, I'm working very hard on branching out the content to attract more enthusiasts in our direction so that we can do more things. With that said, Share your favorite video. Share one of your favorite videos with your friends, your family, someone who would enjoy that video. See if they would want to subscribe. If we can double our subscription on this on the main channel, the Candle Enthusiast. If we can double the subscription on the main channel, this is just a secondary channel. This is our fun channel. Anything goes on this channel, but the main channel is the priority. If we can double that, I'm pretty confident we will be at least on the road a full week every single month, which means in between videos, which means amusement parks, which means museums, strange locations, relics, everything you can imagine. I'm up for anything. Maybe even cross that border into other countries as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for always showing your support. I will be seeing you folks soon. But I hit the end button, but it didn't register. There it is.